name is Muhammad Nazri Azizi bin Alamat with matrix number BS191-60581. So I'll be the first presenter of our group to present our film critic task that had been instructed to us by our lecturer, Mr. Mark Story. Without further ado, I'll jump straight towards the main topic of our video presentation. So the title of movie of our group that our group had agreed upon is the movie called Interstellar. It is a 2014 movie that is written, directed, and produced by Christopher Nolan. It is about a group of astronauts who travels through a wormhole near Saturn in search of a new home for mankind. Its stars is Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, Bill Irwin, Ellen Burstyn, John Lithgow, Michael Caine, and Matt Damon. Next, I'll be talking about the narrative structure of this film. So, based on what I had studied, I have found that there are 9 points of narrative structure for this film. Those points of narrative structure are inciting event, first plot, first pinch plot, midpoint, second pinch plot, third plot, climax and climatic moment, and resolution. So firstly is the inciting event. During this event, Joseph Cooper and his daughter find an encoded message in a pattern of dust on Murphy's bedroom. Cooper decoded the message and it leads to a NASA's secret base. When they arrive at the base, they are apprehended by Dr. John Brand's team. Brand reveals that NASA's team to save humanity by leaving Earth. Then is the first plot. Cooper decided to try and save humanity by joining the mission. He has a very painful conversation with his daughter. His daughter reacts bitterly and tearfully, but she realizes he doesn't know when he'll be back. Next is the first pinch plot. First pinch point. Dr. Doyle, Dr. Amelia, Brand, and Cooper decided to investigate a water planet that Dr. Miller had visited many years before. They found a beacon among the wreckage of a ship, but discovered the planet is plagued with massive waves. The team narrowly escapes the water planet in enormous tidal waves. The plot is successfully pinched when their ship is nearly destroyed by these waves. Next is the midpoint. When the team makes it back to the ship, they discover the fourth member of the team has aged 23 years old. Has aged 23 years. This is due to the extreme time dilation caused by being within the gravitational pull of the black hole. Next is the second pinch point. The team then went to Dr. Mann's planet, which seems promising, but it's revealed that not only Dr. John Brand is lying about the purpose of the mission, but that Dr. Mann has been driven crazy by hopelessness. The plot is pinched when Mann tries to kill the team. Next is the third plot point. Cooper bravely docks his shuttle with the Endurance while it is spinning out of control. He and Brand decided their best shot is to head to the last planet while slingshotting around the black hole. They decided to detach the unnecessary shuttle, which allowed them to conserve fuel. But Cooper reveals that they had never had enough fuel for all of them and detaches himself along with other shuttle. Then is the climax. Cooper's shuttle is destroyed inside the wormhole. At first, he drifts through the blackness, but then finds himself inside a tesseract. The tesseract allows Cooper to interact in Murphy's bedroom across space and time. Climatic moment. During this event, Cooper realizes he can communicate the quantum data of the black hole to Murphy. Murphy finds and deciphers the message and is able to solve the problem of gravity, which enables her to save humans from Earth and create a new home out in space. Finally is the resolution. During this event, Cooper wakes up in a hospital in Cooper Station, one of the space stations in which mankind now lives. The doctor explains that the station is named after his daughter Murphy. His daughter then comes to see him, now very old and on her deathbed. She tells him not to stay as no parent should have watched their children die.
My name is Sintara, and I'm going to present my part, which is characterization. So the movie that we did is called Interstellar. So the first character that I'm going to talk about is the main character itself, which is Joseph Cooper. So he is a widowed, is a pilot, but worked as a farmer after his agency was closed. So the kind of clothing that he wore is a simple and plain, and a dim colored clothing. So he wore a jacket, a plain jacket, a chocolate colored jacket, a plain shirt, and also a plain jeans. So the kind of character he is kind of like a strong-willed person. So throughout the movie you can see that he went through a hard time, he went through a hardship, he went through problems or troubles during his missions, but he kind of like accomplished something, even though he does not succeed in the missions, but he does change. He used a Morse code to send a message through the watch that he gave to his daughter. So in the movie itself, what the thing that they strongly point out is a timeline. So he did change. He tried. So by the end of the movie, he sent a Morse code message on the second-hand watch that he gave to his daughter before he went to the missions. And then second characters that we're going to talk about is the female characters in the movie, the second characters as well, which is called Dr. Amelia Brandt. So she's a scientist, and the kind of clothing that she wore is kind of like a simple clothing, a simple colored clothing, a simple blouse, because it suits her as the scientist. And then she's a kind of like a person that driven by goals. So throughout the movie, she's the one who's been trying so hard to complete missions. And as an astronaut and as a scientist, she's a smart woman, a person driven by goals. So the last character that I'm going to talk about is Murphy Cooper. She's the daughter of Joseph Cooper. So she's the youngest. The clothing that she wore is plain clothing, a dim colored clothing and a dark colored clothing. So the kind of characters of her is the youngest versions of herself is a bright child. Even though she's longing for the love of his father that he rarely home, she's a bright child, a smart child who would love to questions everything that she does not know. So the adult version of her is a scientist. Okay, she's a smart woman, an educated woman. So she, by the end of the movie, she did break the code, the Morse code that her father sent her through the watch that her father gave her. So the difference between the younger self of her and the adult self of her, when she was young, she saw the books fall off the ground, but she thought it was nothing. She thought that it was just a ghost or something. But the adult self of her checked, the watch, and she did break the code.
Hi, my name is Rasnazati binti Jamal. I am going to share about the symbolism that could be seen in Interstellar movie. Symbolism is something that stands out for suggesting something else. It represents something beyond literal meaning. In literature, symbolism can be a word, action, character, concept, or object that represents an additional meaning and significance in the story. There are two obvious symbolisms in Interstellar that will be explained by me, one by one, which are Cooper's watch and Dr. Man. The first symbolism is Cooper's watch. Cooper gave his daughter Merv a watch as a gift to persuade her, as she was very disappointed and sad as her father chose to leave. This watch means more than a usual watch, as it is a symbol of their connection across time. Merv left the watch in her old room untouched for so many years. That represents she still detached from her painful memory. After 23 years, she came into her room to look at her old stuff and saw the watch. It coincided with her breakthrough realization that her father is communicating to her from another dimension through the watch by using Morse code to deliver important message to Murph. The second symbolism that could be seen in Interstellar is Dr. Man. Dr. Man begins Interstellar as a symbol of hope for all those at NASA who believe that there is a way to save humanity. This is also the same reason why Cooper and his crew chose to leave the Earth to find another place for humans in the Earth to live, as at that time the Earth is already exhausted and do not have much time to accommodate humans and other living things. However, Dr. Man becomes a symbol of human capacity of selfishness and betrayal. His feelings of scared to die alone in the unknown planet has poisoned his mind, turning him into a manipulator to protect himself. After losing all hope and giving up, Man still makes sure that if anyone comes to rescue him, there is a plan in place. He disabled Kip, the robot that accompanied him in his journey that he thought would betray him, as the robot was set up to focus on the real mission only. He also planned to exploit anyone that trying to get access to the data he collected, only to save himself.
Earth is slowly passing away from a blight that's killing off mankind's food supply and oxygen. The human race's hopes of survival hinges on a NASA mission, piloted by Cooper, where he will fly a crew through a wormhole to a galaxy far away to look for a habited planet. As time quickly passes, there are two questions that needs to be answered. First, will a new home be found? And second, and more importantly, will Cooper be reunited with his daughter Murph? While the laws of physics, wormhole, and black holes will get a lot of attention, the heart of this film is the relationship between people and the fragility of those relationships. Director Christopher Nolan acknowledged, the more we work on the film, I think the more it became about what is it to be a father, a parent, or a child, the connection between us, or what is it to be a human. The movie centers around the father-daughter relationship between Cooper and Murph. Tension rises in a powerful cutscene where Cooper leaves his young daughter on the family farm to embark on an open-ended space journey to save the world. Tears stream down his face as he drives away, and while the choice is an impossible one, he knows he must put the human race before one of life's most powerful bonds, that's between a father and his daughter. Do you see the dilemma? Can you feel the tension between survival and the parent-child bond? Interstellar suggests that our will to survive supersedes our connection to family and community. For Christopher and Jonathan Nolan, this is a mystery, but is an answer by the film. Not only did Interstellar highlights the tension between love and separating from loved ones by necessity, but it had an interesting portrayal of the concept of love itself. Most films portray love as pure emotion, something of which you fall in and out. However, Interstellar does a good job of going beyond this stereotypical Hollywood version of the strongest human connection. Throughout the movie, love is defined in several different contexts. Dr. Brand says, love isn't something we invented. Maybe it's some evidence, some artifact, or higher dimension that we can't consciously perceive. I'm drawn across the universe to someone I haven't seen for a decade, who I know is probably dead now. Love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimension of time and space. Maybe we should trust that, even if we can't yet understand it. On the other hand, Cooper believes love is simply a social utility comprised of child rearing and social bonding. And it isn't until the end of the film that he realized Brand was right, and it's love represented by his watch he gave to Murph, to his daughter, that transcends space and time. I love how Interstellar shows the tension between love and separation through the passing of time, and the toll it takes on relationship. A deep in space relative that time demonstrates just how fast life moves. Cooper gave Murph a watch as a gesture of his love for her, which served as a metaphor for love transcending the passing of time. Nolan told the New York Times, having children absolutely tunes your sense of time and time passing. There's a desperate desire to hang on them to moments as your kids grows up. At key points, the movie impacted me greatly with a sense of a brevity of life. Life is really a vapor. Not only that, Interstellar correctly presents that love involves commitment and sacrifice. Cooper ultimately gives up a lot for his family and the world. However, ultimately the movie provides us with a definition of love that falls short. In Interstellar, love is a force in the universe holding everything together. It transcends time and gravity. In itself known dimension, love cannot be an impersonal force because it is inherently personal. In other words, it always linked to a person and demonstrate through their choice and action. Love has to be tied to beings. It is by nature relational. It does not cooperate on its own.
My name is Najira binti Bakri and I'll be presenting what is the theme of this movie. Firstly, the unconditional and first love between family. This movie portrayed how the love between father and daughter. Firstly, Cooper, he loved his family so much. Then when he told to go to the space, the first thing he come to his mind is his children. What happened to them when he go to the space? Who will take care of them? He think about them, that he didn't abandon his responsibility to his children because he loves them. And so for Murphy, she loved her father so much that she didn't want to let go her father to go to the space. Why? Because she is worried. What if something happened? What if her father died? So even her father go to the space, she feel angry because her father didn't listen to her, but she still love him even after the argument, the Cold War between them. She still love him, I believe, because she is his daughter. Even when she grew up, she worked at NASA. She tried to solve the problem, the truth behind what happened. This movie show that even you got separate with your loved one, the feeling will always stay. The feeling will always stay. The faith, the hope will always with the one we love, with our family. Secondly, work hard will never betray us. Cooper worked so hard to help the humanity, to survive in the future. He even sacrificing the time that he can spend with his family. He sacrificed himself. He worked so hard to help the humanity, and finally they can help humanity. So it shows that we need to work hard to get what we want. We need to sacrifice something to get what we want. Like we need to sacrifice our time to study. We need to sacrifice our sleep to study. We need to work hard to get what we want, to get what we dream of. We need to work hard to achieve our dream, to achieve our goals. Lastly, evil deeds will be punished. For example, Dr. Mann, when Cooper and his crew come to save him, what he do to them is he betrayed them. He took the spaceship and conduct the spaceship by himself, leaving Cooper and his team. He conduct the spaceship carelessly, that it affect the spaceship and explode, and Dr. Man is die. So whatever we do, bad or good things, it will be punished. So it's better for us to get punished doing a good things than get punished doing a bad things. Thank you.